Meet Compass, powered by Google Gemini. We built Compass around two insights. Gemini's 1 million token context window is large enough to hold an entire code base in a single pass. So we asked, what if an AI actually read every line of your repo, built a complete mental model of it, and then sat next to you while you worked, which was made possible by Live API? That's Compass. For this demo, we are going to analyze Flask's repository. I paste the GitHub URL, Compass clones the repo, reads every file, and runs it through a 4-pass Gemini pipeline, building a knowledge graph of the entire code base. Every file's purpose, every connection, every feature, that the full architecture. 233 files, 292,000 tokens, 4 passes, done. I get a written brief I can read in 90 seconds. Let's fire up the live assistant to get an audio brief.
All right, let's get you briefed. This is a mature WSGI microframework built on a Sans I/O core that separates logic from I/O effects. The architecture heavily leverages context-local proxies for thread-safe state, using Workzog for routing and WSGI, Jinja for templating, and Click for the CLI. The most important files to watch out for are structflask.app.py, the core application class, structflask.py, where the critical context management is defined, and structflask.globals.py, which defines the proxies you'll use daily. Also, pay close attention to the Sans I/O directory for core logic. Key patterns include context-local proxies for request, current app, a strict separation of Sans I/O logic, and modular design through blueprints. Convention-wise, we enforce strict type hinting and code style with rough. There's also extensive use of signals for decoupling. Before you touch anything, 1. Master the application and request context lifecycles. This is critical. 2. Strictly adhere to the Sans I/O separation rule. No I/O or globals in structflask.sonzo, and always run tests with talks to ensure compatibility.
Can you repeat that? Stop. Tell me about this
Is a
session
WSGI
management.
microframework based on a Sans I/O core using context-local proxies for state. We use Workzog, Jinja, and Click. Key file session management is pluggable and built around the session interface. It persists user data using cryptographically signed cookies to ensure integrity and security. Leveraging it's dangerous for that. The core logic is in struct/sessions.py, and you'll find detailed testing in test/test session interface.py. To reiterate the top 3 things before starting: 1. Master the context lifecycles. 2. Follow the Sans I/O separation diligently, and always run tests with tux.
Generate me the architecture diagram.
The architecture diagram is being generated now. It should appear in the chat window shortly.
Gemini walks me through the code base out loud, like a senior engineer doing a handoff, and I can interrupt. And it also is going to generate me an architecture diagram. Just like that, leveraging Gemini's powerful image generation capabilities, I have a detailed architecture diagram now. Now watch this. I asked how to add rate limiting. Compass doesn't give me a generic answer. It tells me exactly which files to touch in which order and why, grounded in actual code base it read using Gemini 3 Pro. And this is the part we're most proud of. I share my screen, switch to my IDE, and the Compass watches. Silently, it has my full code base knowledge and my implementation plan loaded.
The implementation plan calls for creating source.flask.ratelimit.py to define the provider interface, not source.flask.helpers.py.
It caught it. I didn't ask, it just knew. You can also ask it things when you feel lost, and it would correct. Alright, I've created the file. Now what am I supposed to do?
Step 1 in the plan is to define the abstract rate limit provider class and implement the memory rate limit provider in source.flask.ratelimit.py.
Did I make the change in the right file?
Yes, source.flask.setout.py is correct for step 2, which involves initializing self.endpoint rate limits.
You also get a full PDF codebase intelligence repo. Every file, every connection, the architecture diagram ready to share with your team on day 1. Compass doesn't replace documentation. It replaces the senior engineer you don't have access to, the one who would have saved you a week.